Enjoy the show. Play on Perjangers.
It's one of the first signs that the end days are coming. The Perjangers will say to contact the team.
We'll all get COVID. Get over it.
But while the exchange clarifies that Wonder Woman does indeed exist in the universe, the nature of the conversation makes it seem that Peacemaker is probably full of shit and she probably doesn't know he exists.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Welcome to the Triforce Podcast.
There we are. Triforce Podcast. Non-cannibalizing podcast. Disclaimers aside, Link Diablo is licking my hand. I'm not just holding my hand off to the side of the podcast for no reason. Which is the weirdest start I can honestly say we've had to this podcast, but it is a historic moment because it's the 282nd Perjangers and Wallhangers Media Network presentation, and we, of course, are the only podcast to be as unique as a thumbprint every single week. We are the Triforce Podcast, of course. I am your host, Matthew B. Grill, the Mat Man. To my left in the Perjanger box is Christopher Bristow, the dancing old man. And, of course, our omnipotent presence that is Stephen Bucarell, big brother. Off to my side, often trying to lick my hand. He's kind of in it. You can kind of see it. My mic stands in the way, but it's our hero at time, Link Diablo. He's trying to give his opinion. Or lick all the salt off of my palm. I don't know.
He's just trying to get rubs.
There you go. And exit stage left. But we gather here every week for the same reason.
Again
Tonight.
with the glare.
I effing Peacemaker Cox will be everywhere in the MCU. Norman's Deal with the Devil and more on the Triforce Podcast. And we want you to hop on over to pjandwh.com. I'll be updating it soon. It's been holiday week craziness. So we have Lugnuts Podcast up there. Last week's Triforce Podcast, What If, because why not? That'll be up there. I couldn't not make it that title because he just said it so deadpan that I fucking laughed way too hard.
What if? I think we all laughed hysterically.
Why not? I couldn't fucking control myself. It was so goddamn funny. As well as the new restaurant that opened up, the Red River.
Yeah. It's right down the street. It's a great restaurant.
They had to space out a bit. Dude, we're going to have a whole Perjanger town. It's going to be like the chocolate brownie.
Nah, it's going to be this sick, twisted row of
It's going to be worse than Gotham. We'll just call it Perjanger.
No, but they're all highly successful businesses.
I think we just built our own NFT game.
Yeah,
there
we
you
did.
go.
Oh, my God. The Red River, the chocolate brownie, and the hairy donut. Those are our first NFTs.
There's another place across the street from the Red River. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's the next one, man.
Kelly,
we got to lead
drawing
into that.
all of that.
Yeah,
we got that tablet.
We got a lot of NFTs to work on, but
yeah.
I fucking love that. You immediately go to NFTs. Like, you immediately go over to the second tab once you're on pjandwh.com, where you will find a link to find Big Brother and myself stream every single week, Monday through Friday, and then, of course, a Sunday, maybe a Saturday in there, giggity. And you will find Big Brother
7.5 days a week. That's what we do.
There we go. We give it 7.5%.
You're supposed to take a day off, remember?
Yeah, for Lent.
All right, 6.5.
Thankfulness or whatever. But Big Brother going through Skyrim right now. I myself am going through the
5 and 9/6.
When I get to the Daytrick quests, I will cover some of the lore, and we're doing the Hermaeus Mora because he's really my favorite. He's a gooey eyeball tentacle creature, and he's awesome.
And here's the thing that I want to highlight here, since we're talking Skyrim, is that people always make fun of how many platforms Skyrim is available on. But the thing that I really want to highlight is how much goddamn shit they crammed in that game.
There's
to
a
where
lot.
As long out as we are in the development process from concept to finished product to now, the replayability of this game cements it in the Gaming Hall of Fame
And they
alone.
didn't really mean Skyrim to last that long. They just sort of meant it to last a couple years, and then we'll do something else. But that wasn't successful.
One thing that grabbed me, it was like a year ago or so during lockdown. You hopped into Skyrim and you were like, look at this. It was ants marching up a tree.
Oh yeah, they do have stuff like that.
And I was like, what the fuck? There was a guy who was just like, what are you doing
This
today?
was the vanilla game,
They were-
by the way. I didn't know
Skyrim
any
has
mods.
Dave Matthews Band.
You know what I mean? And actually, you can hear a hint at Dave Matthews when the ants are marching. But that's the kind of level that you get into that game, to where they're like, when is the next one? Like, bitch, they told you they are working on it officially. You should be happy with that. All right? Doesn't matter if we're colonizing the moon by the time it actually gets released. You're getting another one.
You'll get another Skyrim in sequential order before Half-Life 3 comes
They
out.
are saying
It will be a while before they release it, but I'd rather them do it right.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Bethesda?
Xbox did say that you will get the next Fable game before you will get the next Elder Scrolls.
Really? We're getting a new Fable game?
Well, yeah, that was always kind of a rumor, and then they're like, yeah, we're working on it. And then did they?
Yeah, we
They
see
did
how
that-
quickly they work on things.
Well, they did that teaser trailer, right?
Yeah, it was just
didn't
like,
really
it
have any.
wasn't
8 years
anything
or so.
big.
And
It
then
was just like, hey, we're doing Fable.
And then there was that one story, if
Don't
I'm
tell us anything
remembering
about it.
correctly, when they were going through, it was like Unreal 5 or Next Gen technology trailer, and then they had this one piece that looked like, damn, that is very Fable. I mean,
you look at these studios that say they're not doing it, and then like, because Microsoft went through it too, where they got rid of the studio that did Age of Empires. Now they brought them back and made Age of Empires 4. Yeah. They got rid of the studios that did Lionhead. They got rid of them from Fable 3.
well, I mean,
they were making a
Lionhead
new-
dissolved.
Yeah. So they
Just
They
Didn't
were
they
doing-
make that game Black and White?
Lionhead
Yes,
did
Black
that.
and White is
That
still
was so fantastic.
It was.
it was.
It was such a
like,
great.
can
And
you
I want to
find it
see it.
anymore?
I want a black and white
You
too.
can't
You can
find
find it
it.
on GOG, GOG.com.
There is a Black and White too. There is a Black and White.
Or
too.
do a remastered on that.
I
Give
would
me
love a remaster.
Give
of Black
me a
and White.
remastered black and white.
Because that
I
was like
love
playing God. It was the only
game
playing
like it.
God.
There was nothing
No.
else like it.
There were
No,
other
the
God
only- the
games,
only
but
other
not
game-
like that.
Yeah, not like
I mean,
that.
besides Roller Coaster Tycoon, you were playing God.
Well,
but,
no,
you know,
but
just
not
with-
No,
Roller Coaster
it was-
Tycoon. There was another one that Big Brother had back in the day, and it was like a flat world, just
in the 386 days.
big. It was very like blocky, but you had little
It's all about the
civilizations that
Pentium
would
3s, baby.
pop up
Yeah, it
and
was-
shit.
It had to be like Civilization 1.
It had to be something around that.
I think it was because it was on my old 286 or 386, whatever
Yeah.
it was. It was
Yeah.
that's in the way back.
Yeah.
That's
No,
95. Yeah,
that
that's
was
95,
like-
96.
that was like
like-
the first game, and it was like, oh, what does he have here? Let me click, and I loved it. And then it
Oh,
was
yeah.
the same thing with Black
What
and White.
annoyed me in that game is you couldn't eliminate all the other players. You had to leave one. I'm like, I guess 99% is good enough.
What a total destruction.
Yeah, I
Bring
mean,
me
like-
Spider-Man.
They attacked me once. I had to eliminate them all.
Yeah.
It says it right here in the Bible.
Exactly. Another thing it says is to contact the team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right at the
I didn't
last
know
tab.
that was there.
It's in one of the Revelations chapters.
Ah.
It's one of the
Somewhere
first.
in the back.
It's one of the first signs that the end days are coming. The
There's-
Perjangers will say to contact the team.
And
Nah,
Job.
we'll all get COVID and get over it. And
Good old
Everything
Job. But something that
'Cause
isn't.
We want to be hiring soon, so we're going to be giving out Jobs all day.
I see what you did there. That's very punny.
Yes, you're welcome.
But something that isn't punny is our first story, which we don't always get to give out the good news, but it is a big bucket of win. Unfortunately, rest in peace to Betty White at the ripe old age of 99. That's what
That's a
everybody's been
shame.
saying. Betty White was such a fucking beacon
couldn't
in this
give her
dark,
another couple weeks. Really?
dingy world. She couldn't make it to 100. Are you fucking kidding me? Betty
Yeah,
White
it's a
did not deserve to be 100 in this goddamn bleak time.
Oh, well.
I systematically think that everyone has the feeling like they lost someone. Like
You lost-
everyone collectively has lost someone.
Absolutely. I know where I was. I was at work and I looked at my phone and I was like, you got to be fucking kidding.
But the fact that in 2021 we lost Ed Asner as well, and Betty White.
Betty White was older than sliced bread.
Yes, legitimately older than sliced bread. So, nothing was better than Betty White. The fact that those two were on a show together, they played off. You go back and you watch the materials of when they were playing off each other. It was just comedic gold. Yeah,
it was. I mean, that was just.
And then the Golden Girls, and then her and Lake Placid.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Because I quote, she says, "This is the time where where I'm going to say, if I had a dick, this is where I tell you to suck it."
Betty White just had that. She had that kind of humor in her later days, which just made you love her more because it was just so like that cool grandma feel. And
yep. And then her doing SNL, that was awesome.
Like a couple of weeks ago, she did an interview saying how good she felt and all that, So it just took me by such surprise. I was taken aback by
surprise.
And you just have to appreciate that the simple fact that if you live to the age of 99 and people say you died too soon, the body of work and the life you lived were magnanimous. Like
the quality of character is so her body of work is only outdone by her quality of character. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm just doing this for long enough so I can make this the YouTube thumbnail. Me holding Betty White's head.
You're very fuzzy to me.
Love you, Betty. So, I had to have this in there, man, because we can't highlight every big person that dies because the appraiser from Comic Book Man.
Yeah, this is America. There's
Robert Bruce. Yeah.
Robert Bruce died too, man, right after Betty White, and I was like, "Fuck, man, Rob Bruce." He was a cool soul. When you saw him every week on Comic Book Man, he knew his shit, and there's a bit of knowledge that, like the Library of Alexandria that just died with him of comic book knowledge and appraisal, and it's a big shame that we have that. But I like to have that in the beginning because we have some speculation for the next story. Black Adam producer says that a DC Kingdom Come movie is a dream. Hang on, let me do that again. He says a Kingdom Come movie is a dream. So, as a premise, I do like that. Kingdom Come, very iconic comic book line. And having that, Hiram Garcia, producer of DC film Black Adam, reveals that a Kingdom Come movie has been discussed. They already tiptoed in that window through the tulips with Brandon Roth with the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And he said that was almost kind of like therapeutic, getting in there and being able to have that closure. And I almost kind of thought the line of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield of having that, all right, I got to do something. And it was really good, and it made me feel better as a character, and the character got better as it. So there's a lot of that going on to where I would really like to see Brandon as the Kingdom Come Superman. If they do a series, if they do a movie, I think this would be really good with him in it because he was a good Superman. I didn't mind his movie.
The one Superman I want to see done in live action is Red Son. I want to see that.
Give me Henry Cavill. Give me Henry Cavill as a Red Son Superman.
And that would be the and make it really dark because that's.
I mean, if you want to spend money, you could do Christopher Reeves, but poof, good luck.
No. Legitimately, I want a Red Son Superman live action.
Who's your Batman? Ben Affleck already said. Ben Affleck said he's done.
No, he's the only Batman.
Unless you get a couple semis to, with money.
That's I'll have to get back to you on that one, but yeah, it's
I say Michael Keaton.
you can't do Michael Keaton for everything now.
Well, he is willing to be
Like,
Batman, or give me Robert Pattinson. I would take the new Batman doing an alternate role, but ultimately, you could do like Kevin Conroy and just have, fucking stunt actor in there and use Kevin Conroy for the headshots.
If you're going with a truly dark, Red Sun Superman,
It would be Ben Affleck.
You want the character to be as similar to
John Hamm.
John Hamm would be good.
Give me fucking John Hamm in that Red Sun, man. We can cast a new Superman. Fuck it. It's a multiverse.
Yeah, we could do that.
I think John Hamm would be really good as like that Red Sun Batman.
Yeah.
Fucking cutthroat. After seeing him in Mad Men, like, yeah, you're fine.
If we really want to go full on multiverse.
Arm Hammer?
No.
Frank Caliendo.
Yes. 100%.
Oh, yeah. We lost John Madden, too.
Yeah, we did lose John. Fuck you, 2021. We're in 2022 now, bitch. We have many more people to lose.
Yeah, he was the first one, 2022.
That's probably my most morbid statement of the night.
Yeah.
Good night, folks.
Yeah, I'll think. I'll think about that.
But I'm just really happy that
I'm gonna throw this name out there. He's a bit tall for the role, but Mark Calloway, and you don't know that name, but he is also known as the Undertaker.
Yeah, no, I knew that name sounded familiar, and I was like, he has another name. I knew that, but no, Undertaker. I could see Undertaker as Kingdom Come Superman, or even like Injustice Superman. That'd be fucking dope.
Undertaker,
maybe Bizarro. No, fucking Bizarro. Yeah. He would fucking murder as Bizarro. Or Solomon Grundy. But there's a lot of different roles that you can have, man. A lot of different things that they're trying to make right here in the DC universe. Lobo.
He's a Lobo.
I kind of really like...
Mark Calloway would definitely be a Lobo.
He's Lobo.
He would be a Lobo. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Gave myself an A.
But that's because I was already thinking of Jason Momoa as like Lobo.
You can have Brock Lesnar as Bane.
Ooh, I like that. Brock Lesnar as Bane, yeah. I like Willem Dafoe as Joker.
William Dafoe's Joker. If we're going to stick with the WWE superstars, Bobby Lashley as John Stewart, Green Lantern.
Sure.
Bobby Lashley is a built person, and he would actually be good as a Green Lantern.
I'm glad you described that for the wrestling challenged in the group. Bravo. My hat is literally off to you because it's over there.
He is legitimately he has got the same build as Brock Lesnar. He's just slightly younger. That's it.
So, for uninitiated, Kingdom Come was a 4-issue DC miniseries published in 1996, written by Mark Waid and Alex Ross, with iconic gauche artwork from Alec Ross, which I follow him on Facebook, and he will still put out like artwork or re-release artwork of comic stuff, which just looks so like artistically like beautiful, still with a realistic flair as a because he's portraying the golden and silver aged heroes from Marvel and stuff on that, and he has a very iconic look. Like you look at it and you're like, that's Alex Ross. You know who
speaking
he is.
Speaking of artists, I know who our Alfred will be.
Okay.
Frank One Punch Percy.
I would love Frank as Alfred.
I would love to see him as Alfred, just because he's got that little like subtle delivery and
yeah, that's exactly what I like. Yeah, He has that
it's-
Alfred
that's-
dry, like real. I just hit you with a solid jab.
And you don't know if it's a jab because he's doing it so nicely and sweetly.
And I can already tell Frank's reaction is, well, you're very kind. I don't see that,
Yeah.
but you're very kind. We know
You're
Frank.
very kind.
We know
Yeah,
Frank,
see?
but this is our dream. Don't pop our bubble, man.
Just saying.
Yeah. So we'll have to see how the Kingdom Come comes to fruition.
Mark Gervais as the Riddler.
No, I'll allow that. I'll allow that. I'd like to see Kelly as Two-Face.
Question mark Broski.
But Broski's going to be checking out this next story because I
was a
just
good
noticed
segue.
this one today, but it came out. New trailer for Peacemaker dropped July 2nd. With
Alrighty.
Hey, everybody, it's Peace.
It is Peacemaker. And he dropped a little bit of knowledge here on some young children. And
That story is not in the Perjangers.
I might have added it last minute, but
Yeah, it's all right.
you'll see.
You can watch the show.
Yeah, but you'll see Peacemaker in the beginning. He's telling children about his exploits, and he mentions references Wonder Woman early on, where Peacemaker describes Wonder Woman eye-effing him from across the room during a party. But while the exchange clarifies that Wonder Woman does indeed exist in the universe, the nature of the conversation makes it seem that Peacemaker is probably full of shit and she probably doesn't know he exists.
Yeah, probably.
But
So you're saying there's a chance.
yeah, there's a chance. But the thing I like about this trailer is that it keeps highlighting the other people. You are buying this series. You're already watching on July 13th or January 13th, excuse me. You're watching it for Peacemaker, for John Cena, because he's electrifying when he has a role like this that he gets to really lean into. And James Gunn seems to really fucking love him as Peacemaker. And even the Wonder Woman reference, just like we saw it with Deadshot in the Suicide Squad, making the Superman reference. This is all kind of in that universe, which is really refreshing in the fact that they're just leaning into, these guys exist, and we can make a little quip that'll make you laugh and love this even more. And it adds to that an extra,
And
onion
those
layer.
quips carry on throughout the movie that you're kind of clamoring for more. So that I wholeheartedly love this.
And especially since they're looking at developing character, that's what they've been very open with this series, is we are looking to develop the Peacemaker character, but it's also going to be the other people, because it's often Peacemaker's this dickish guy that you kind of like, but he's really rough around the edges, and then those edges soften, but the people around him also get funnier. And you get that good camaraderie along with it. And that's what I can't wait to see during this.
Yeah. I mean, it's a classic setup. You have your center attraction, then you have your set pieces to make the centerpiece a larger than life character or valuable piece. That's just what it comes into.
Oh, 100%. And it's just something that about when he does a series like this, like Suicide Squad was so fucking brilliant. Like, if it wasn't for No Way Home, Suicide Squad would have been at my top.
For John Cena to do roles like this, and this is not the first time he's done a role like this, because he's done
Not at all.
Cock Blockers. He's done that. He's done that movie, Trainwreck with Amy Schumer.
Yes. That's where he accidentally slipped it in. Giggity.
Yep. So like when you see him in these doing these performances, oh my God.
Accidentally.
What happened there?
Big Brother just accidentally my ass.
So when you see John Cena performing these roles,
Yeah.
it is completely 100. It's a completely 180 to his persona in WWE because everybody knows him as like he's this like
He's the good guy.
never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect kind of type of person.
Yeah.
Just doing, always fighting the good fight. But now he's fighting the good fight with with an attitude. So,
well, the dickish Captain America, but he's also the guy who's, if you see it in all the trailers that we've seen, he did not have the best upbringing, and he has his own,
not his own trauma.
He has his own distorted view of like what is right, and it's not that far off, but it's disturbingly far off. And that's what really adds to the charm of the character. And that's what I loved about him in the movie, but also this series with her, his, best friend sidekick here, adding into that comedic flair. I think we're going to get a lot of development, but we're also going to get a lot of good times.
I'm just waiting for the crossover to see Peacemaker with Black Adam, if we'll ever get there.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool.
But we won't have to wait long for Peacemaker. January 13th, it's dropping. So the Eagle, apparently, who's his best friend, because why not?
Best friends, why not?
But we got a lot of different stuff coming out from HBO, and they're inflating their universe. Obviously, fans still hope for another Snyderverse movie, but we're getting Naomi from Amy Pascal, Ava DuVernay, and we're also getting more in the Arrowverse. That's the Naomi show. We're getting the new animated series from the original Batman the Animated Series creator, and that's coming in 2023 or 2022, I think. But that won't have any continuity.
I think for the people that are clamoring for the Snyderverse movies, they just need to cut their losses, but champion the story to be told through limited live action series, because you can do a lot more. You have a little bit more leeway. You can focus on the individual characters.
Either limited live action or just go animated, because it's easier to hire somebody for voiceover rather than you got to get in shape. You got to go over and do this. People are like the What If series. You can work with animated to live action, and people will accept it more openly now, as opposed to where they have in the past. But I think that there's some leeway there that you can work. But if you give them time, I think DC will be everywhere just like Marvel, because we have a lot of big movies coming up in 2022 for DC.
You know what?
Flashpoint,
badass though?
Aquaman.
So we talk about them having a multiverse. So let's just key off of that. We've seen their traditional animation style. So why don't they just hire the people from NetherRealm Studios who've done DC with Injustice and do an animated movie with that type of animation for their multiverse?
I mean, it wouldn't be
pretty badass.
It wouldn't be bad, but I just think that you just need the right talent. Like Marvel, what they do is they get fresh talent, people you haven't really heard from, to direct and write. And, they have their core team that they trust for delegation in the project, but they have a simple ideal of, let me get some fresh eyes on this. And I think there's something to be said about that. It goes to a matter
of trust.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that.
Well, I mean, they also have a very good track record, too, of hiring the right people.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people rating the 9 Marvel things that we've gotten this year, coming off of 2020, which was Marvel-less. There was nothing. Now we get 9. And 2022, we'll see later on what we get, but I meant in the podcast, that is. But there's one thing for certain, and that's that Cox is going to be everywhere. We'll find that out in the next story. Charlie Cox, that is, because Daredevil is going to have a larger role.
We went from you can't see me to I can't see you.
Yeah. You see what I did there with the story placement? There's
you're welcome.
multiple levels of jokes in this show. But after cancellation of Cox Netflix series, that is, it was uncertain whether or not fans will ever see the British actor don the cowl again. However, not only is Cox back, giggity, but so is co-actor Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin, spoiler alert, that we have also seen in Hawkeye.
That battle scene was awesome.
Between Hawkeye, WandaVision, and Loki, and Falcon Winter Soldier, and it is so hard for me to pick my honest favorite because I just have so many great moments that they were like phase 4, and you're like, oh, what are we gonna get? But we got so much this time because they focused on movie and TV. They're using both hands, giggity.
And they slow burned the series, whereas like Netflix and other IPs just release it all at once.
They slow burned it, but also they had the ideal of, for their TV shows, this is a 6-hour event. And it's the perfect amount of time for their stories that they want to tell for that idea. When you look at Hawkeye, perfect length. They didn't really have a lot of, well, you could have trimmed this out. You know what I mean? Same thing with What If and all of the series. It was skillfully crafted, like Danish chocolate.
Okay.
I'm a Lynn Truffles kind of person.
But the point being that it is expertly made. And I'm really looking forward to phase 5. You're looking into the first family now. You're looking into how are they going to incorporate mutants. And it's believable because we're seeing Ms. America in Multiverse Madness, Doctor Strange. That's another level. We're seeing Defender Strange, a different variant. We're seeing a couple different variants and different shit from comic lore being skillfully woven right in the normal narrative that everybody's going to eat up.
All right, someone make a meme of Lightning McQueen going ka-chow and deleting all the variants, please.
That would be awesome. But we're going to see an Echo show, hopefully exploring what we've seen. Also, rumors saying that we're going to see a Moon Knight trailer this week. So we'll have to see. I am 100% on board with Moon Knight because they're saying we're going to see Blade pop up in that, which makes sense because they announced Blade a long time ago. And it was right around the time of Moon Knight, so it just makes sense that if they're going into that dark world, you're going to see Blade pop up in the back end. Giggity. So,
hi-oh.
And now Matt Murdock, different stuff popping up in this multiverse, and it's those different characters, almost like they're saying Matt Murdock is going to be more like the Night Nurse in the Netflix series, to where she just popped up in every series at crucial points. I appreciate that for Daredevil. Showing that to introduce him and then giving him his own solo show where he can completely ignore his law degree.
Less is more.
Like those little cameos will be integral for his involvement in the MCU.
But some of my favorite Daredevil comics were when he succumbed to that I gotta be Daredevil over his profession because he was doing what he thought was right at the time, and you see him having to deal with the circumstances of this, which is what we saw in the Netflix series of him going to jail and shit like that. Like he was like, "No,
I still got to rewatch that. I have to just to give it."
That's a good one to rewatch, man. That first fucking season was so good with that hallway scene. It sells everybody at the hallway scene because cinematically it's beautiful.
The hallway scene with Daredevil, or the hallway scene with Punisher?
No, with Daredevil in the first season, where he's just got the black mask on and he's going through, and that hooks you onto Daredevil.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that on the big TV that I have now. So
yeah, man. Another thing you may watch, we'll have to see, is the next story because Norman Reedus might make a good Johnny Blaze. Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I saw this story pop up, and I was going to put it in there, but then you beat me to it. But
yeah, man. I mean, I just like the idea of Norman Reedus as Johnny Blaze. It just makes sense.
I've always, I mean, the character that he's playing in Walking Dead, he's good on the bike. He fits it because he's got the look.
Yeah.
I've always liked Norman Reedus from Boondock Saints.
Oh yeah, that was an amazing movie.
Yeah, you know, and Boondock Saints 1, 2. He was also in Blade 2.
Yeah, he was in Blade 2. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I ironically, I would rather put Sean Patrick Flannery as Ghost Rider, because he would also fit the bill for it, because he's got a martial arts background.
I kind of want to see Nick Cage pop up in some
that's
kind
what I
of
was thinking.
multiversal factor. You know,
We need a Nick Cage.
bring him back. Why not?
Look, he's got 27
just
castles, and he really
make him
needs
like a
the money.
supporting character,
Just
and
because
just see him
of
like
the whole premise of the Ghost Rider. You don't need to have heard of Nick Cage since the first movie he made as Ghost Rider. Like, you could bring him back.
How awesome would it be if he wore a Nicolas Cage shirt?
I mean, I will say highly unlikely is probably in the realm it's checked
Yeah,
in.
it's highly unlikely, but
it
that
would be awesome.
Funny as hell.
Oh, it would be awesome. But another thing, Norman Reedus as Johnny Blaze. That would be awesome. I do also see fans kind of hoping for the Johnny Reyes.
Yeah, I
Ghost
know
Rider
people are
coming
pulling
back?
for him too.
I wouldn't mind it, man. Either one of them. But I kind of feel like if you're Marvel, you're going to go for what's new. For at least what you want to establish in the future for a person who's going to build this franchise like you have in the past. You know, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, they have had enough time to let their careers go, do other things, and be like, no, you know what? I really do like playing Spider-Man. To where I think Sony can get Andrew Garfield, add him in there with their whole villain verse that they have going on, and then do a Spider-Verse movie in the future, getting Tom Holland and all the crazy shit they want together, having an epic movie, because Spider-Man is the top grossing film for Sony ever. And it's mainly because Marvel was involved.
That's because Marvel, it's really easy to get the top grossing film ever when you don't do any of the work.
Yeah, you don't have to actually be like, well, we have Doctor Strange. Ooh, thank you.
I had the most successful year of my life because you did all the work for me.
Thank you. Well, I will take that 75 plus armor buff. You know, like, oh, and then you know we have you have Willem Dafoe. We have all this stuff Sony wise. We're Marvel and we're involved, so yes, I will do.
William
that.
Dafoe in that movie was just amazing. He
a lot of
plays
people
that
are saying.
character.
Now here's the thing. A lot of people are saying Oscar. And then I saw one thing that said the main purpose of the Oscars was to highlight films that you might not have gotten the chance to see because they haven't gotten the publicity, to where Marvel films don't need the Oscar highlight. As opposed to different films that win the Oscars
but
that do need
so
it.
they have,
I see the argument both ways, and I figured, fuck it, I'll be a devil's advocate right here.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the devil's advocate role for the performance given. The performance given of William Dafoe in that movie surpasses a lot of what other people's do during the last 3 years.
Fair
I'm
enough.
just saying, the amount that you have to draw from to be that switch has to go off to play that sadistic person versus the lost, hiding in the corner person.
Well, they wrapped him in a jihad just sitting on set just to keep his identity secret. I mean, yeah, you're going to get a little demented.
It reminds me of Split with James McAvoy.
Let me tell you what it reminds me of. It makes me think that they're just an advertising company. Look, we really need to advertise these people because they've paid us more money. I bet you there's some money in there.
There's definitely money.
There's
in
got to
there.
be some palms graced somewhere in there.
I'm just,
like, if you're not going for the person who did the best job, what are are we all gathering here for? What's the purpose? Not us. I mean, what are we talking about? Emmys, Oscars, Grammys?
I mean,
Oscars,
it used
yeah.
to be,
All of them.
it used to be.
Especially
I
the
get-
Grammys.
I get your point, though, big brother. I mean,
Grammys were
it
fucked
is
from the beginning.
from what we as fans see is this is the best. You are highlighting the best. I want the best. Not, well, you know what? This was the best that you didn't see.
You know,
That's not the best advertising line, I will say.
we could give
Hey,
the
here's some
Grammy.
crap you didn't watch.
We could give the Grammy to Metallica, but you know what? You should all listen to Jethro Tull. Give Jethro Tull a little. Give him a chance. Come on, would you? All right.
But that's
Nobody's
that's
happy.
the problem that we have because, award season, what was the best of 2021? We're getting into that shit, and everybody always has the same problem. And if this, and once again, I saw it on like a meme, and it was like a screen capture of a Twitter thread. So this could be Joe Blow, Russian guy, trying to stir shit. But I see the Oscars as, like Big Brother was saying, the best of the best. What was the best?
That's what it should be.
Now, best supporting actor absolutely must be Willem Dafoe. I haven't seen everything.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not part of that person that has to do that screening. But from a biased view of just a Marvel fanboy, yes, seeing him fit like a fucking glove right into that role that he did how many years ago? And it was
He's an
still
actor.
a
That's his
dominating
job.
role. He escalated it, and then they did something new. I won't say it because,
We have a
It's-
different
it's just-
podcast for that.
exactly, but it's also just out of respect for what they did with the movie. You
It's a
know what I'm
great
saying.
movie.
Everybody listen knows what I'm saying, what they did. That they did completely different from anything else Spider-Man ever. They made
And
a moment
I'm gonna.
special. And that is what I think really brings people's hearts to it, that conflate it. It clouds their judgment on what should be best picture, because this was the last thing to come out good in their mind.
Yeah, I get that. I get the whole it's what. have you
Remember
done for
how
me
good
lately?
WandaVision was? I watched each episode 3 times after they aired. Once
But
with
for
him
me-
and then
for me
twice
to go-
after. Both
And
awake.
I will say this. I will say this because this will tug on both of your thrifty heartstrings. But for me to go see a movie, like legitimately want to go to a movie theater, the movie has to be good. It has to be some level of good. And now I saw that
Gotta
movie
get a good
twice,
trailer
so
cover.
that tells you something.
I know. And I wanted to see it twice, but I'm way too strong for that.
We'll wait till it comes out on.
Exactly. I'm gonna watch Eternals in like a couple weeks. It comes out on the 12th on the Disney.
Yeah, I know.
Plus.
I'm waiting for it because
But
yeah,
every
anything
list,
that's built into the subscription,
every list
I'll
I
watch.
saw of the 9 movies that came out from Marvel, number 9, Eternals. Like, okay, it's Marvel. It's good. It's expanding the universe, but apparently wasn't as great as the rest of it because I've watched the rest of it. Even Black Widow, that I was like, no. And I still watched it and loved the fuck out of it. So,
I would have liked Black Widow more if they didn't make me wait 4 years after they made it.
I mean, it is like if you were to do the 9, it would be Black Widow or Eternals, Black Widow. I would probably put. Fuck, that's way too hard. What if, Loki,
Shang-Chi. Yeah, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi,
Falcon Winter Soldier.
Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision. I'm missing
And the Book of Boba Fett right on top there.
The one episode that we got that everybody's shitting on.
And why not?
I
So that's Star Wars. That's not Marvel.
Boba
had-
Fett's in
But we're gonna
Marvel
add it
too.
anyway.
It had
because
fantastic
why not?
anthropology.
Boba Fett's in Marvel too. He's just way too far away. He's messing with Adam Warlock right now.
Sure.
No, but I mean that's way too hard. I mean I lost place just because I get when you're sorting that out in your mind. I mean it's just like fuck, man. Like I'm thinking about I put that down, but like WandaVision was so fucking good with like just the art styles and everything. It's way too hard to think of. But one thing that isn't hard to think of is what we have in the future for Marvel, which is the next story of everything coming, giggity, in 2022.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah,
just
I'm gonna need
this
to-
listing in itself.
Yeah, just scroll down slowly. I haven't actually perused this because I was like, good list.
So Morbius
Morbius.
on the 28th.
That actually got moved back.
It got moved to April.
Yeah. But I'm still excited to see that because I enjoyed Venom and Venom 2 after the fact. Once again, I'm glad I didn't pay for it, but I am glad I watched it. I will say that because I enjoyed Tom Hardy's Venom and I enjoyed him popping up in No Way Home. Like
That was like
I enjoyed all that.
That was a wonderful little nod to Tobey Maguire's little thing that he said in the movie, and then that happens with the end credit.
But here's the thing: in the end credits, I would almost wish that he just vanished completely, and then Spider-Man gets the symbiote in Secret Wars, like it happened in the comics. I think that would be so fucking good if you get Tom Holland, because I think he's burnt out, man. He's already starting to say, like, I don't know how long I'm going to be Spider-Man. Like,
yeah, but I think he's, Tom, can you read this? It says, I don't know how long I want to be Spider-Man. But what if I want to still be Spider-Man? No, just read it because we need to add suspense.
I mean,
Like,
he
okay.
has said,
I don't know how long I want to be
will
Spider-Man.
be Spider-Man for as long as possible, but, we have all said things like, I'll love you forever. And guess what? Look to your left. That person is not fucking there. They're not even to your right either. I'm just putting it that way. You know what I mean? Tom Holland may have had some shift of heart, like, damn, maybe I really enjoyed that action set. Because he said that Uncharted was one of the most, like, physically demanding sets that he's had to do, even with Marvel, like, and that's being Spider-Man, and he's still like, fuck. Like, and that was more acting-wise because he had to do more, like, dramatic pauses and different style of acting. But
Yeah, I'm
even
sure.
still, maybe
Disney
he
or
caught the
Marvel
bug. Because he did Cherry. He did other movies that were very successful. So
'Cause
maybe
he's
he
an
wants to branch out and not be committed to Spider-Man. But look
I mean,
at Toby
we're
and
in
Andrew. They had their careers. They had time to come back to the franchise. I don't think it's a negative
We're in an
if he
era.
leaves.
We're in an era of film and TV where typecasting is partially a thing of the past.
Yeah.
You don't see that nowadays as it was back 20, 25 years ago. Because once you got pegged into those type of movies, those B action movies like Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren, they couldn't get out of that.
Oh, shit.
And
We
it
got
took-
comments, man. What the fuck do they say?
I can't. No, it's not that type of comment.
Oh, okay. I just got excited because our
Would
chat
you like
box
to
worked.
send them money?
Oh.
You want to send them lots of money.
Oh, I
don't
just
you?
got excited because
You
our chat
love
box.
sending them all your money.
Yeah,
Click
no.
here and send us all your money.
Yeah, no, I just got excited because our chat box actually works. But no, my main thought that I just actually thought up right there is that it wouldn't be a bad idea to let Tom sign off to where Spider-Man 4, they already kind of rehashed that Into the Spider-Verse vibe with No Way Home, right?
Yeah.
If you continue that to where Tom really wants, like, dude, let me tap out. Like, maybe I'll come back in the future.
I mean, they left a lot of good segues with
You
Jamie Foxx making that comment.
into Tom Holland sacrificing himself and Miles Morales coming in, and that first movie being the start of Miles Morales' trilogy.
So
I would really appreciate that too.
I got a little tip of the hat on this one too. So No Way Home actually brought in the Feast center from from Aunt May, where she worked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually an inception from the Spider-Man video game from
Insomniac, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then Miles Morales comes in that way. So maybe they're just training off of that story.
Marissa Tomei wanted Aunt May to have a girlfriend. I would have loved that. Not from a pervy sense, but just from an interesting story sense of what they have done so far with the series. But
Well, it's evolving with the times. So the
Yeah.
character would have just evolved with the times.
exactly. Like, Aunt May wasn't hot before. Aunt May is hot now. And, of course, you have
Aunt
the
May's dead.
Alfred Moynihan.
Spoiler
Hey, some necrophiliacs will like that. But you have the Alfred Moynihan meme going out there with all the different Aunt Mays, and he's like, "Hello, nephews."
Yeah.
So let's scroll down on the list and try to talk about something else other than Spider-Man and how excited we are.
Yep.
Hey, Doctor Strange into the.
So was that last one Spider-Man?
Well, Morpheus is a Spider-Man
Never mind.
villain. But Doctor
That's more of an
Strange,
anti-hero story because that's going to match Venom.
Doctor Strange, I mentioned it before. We got our first look. If you look out there in the internet, there is a Defender Strange. So we're going to get not only the What If Doctor Strange, we're getting the Defender Strange, as well as our Doctor Strange and Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme. So kind of feel like our Doctor Strange 616 is kind of the underachiever, like the Doctor Strange that didn't really pass math class. You know, like, oh, who are you? Oh, I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. Oh, I'm a ultimate sorcerer. Oh, yeah, I'm Wong. I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. Who are you? Well, I'm just Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Because he got it on a technicality.
It's like being in a family of doctors and being like a clown. You know, you still get a fulfillment in your work.
You got to play the Spies Like Me clip where doctor.
But
Did we miss anyone?
I'm really interested in Wanda's, involvement in this because, all the villains and stuff that they're going to have in this, all the people, it's going to be that No Way Home of let me just watch it because even the trailers that you show me, it's not going to actually show me the story.
All right, so spoiler alert, if you haven't seen No Way Home, yes, the end credit scene. So
dude, if you're saying that now, it is way too late because I just gave away 25 spoilers before this.
I'm giving the Christmas buffer because not everybody has time during Christmas. All right, I gave the Christmas buffer.
After the fact. That's like, oh yeah, by the way, man, that shit you ate, it was radiation.
I've been ambiguous about like my details, but the end credit scene, I love the fact how Wanda immediately thought she was getting her hand slapped, like saying that she knew she did something wrong by Doctor Strange, and he's like, no, I'm not here for that.
Actually, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. No,
I don't care about Westview.
I like that, and I like the different stuff because I do like the fact that Doctor Strange is semi ignorant in the way of because of the blip, because of Thanos, it almost erased what was going to happen to him. And I'm actually not the Sorcerer Supreme.
Well, who's to say that he hasn't gone past that time to see what would happen past Phase 4? Like, we don't know.
Well, I mean, I really hope Benedict Cumberbatch stays on with Doctor Strange because this is a perfect character building arc for him because you can't just have him be the Sorcerer Supreme in the second movie. So having him in Endgame and knocking him down a peg after the first movie is a really smart play if you think about it. Mm-hmm. Because now in the second one, it's, Wong's the Sorcerer Supreme, but look at my other selves. I'm doing pretty fucking well. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like looking at your other selves and your Elon Musk. You're like, oh, I am supposed to be doing way better.
So that one comes out May 6, 2022. The next one, this one's going
perfect
kind of dark. It's going kind of dark for a little bit because
we're scrolling down to the next story.
Oh, so you could talk about Spider-Man.
No, it was actually perfect timing because you came back right as we were getting done talking about that. But Thor,
I'm so sick of hearing
Thor: Love and Thunder.
We saw those initial screenshots, and then it's gone
with Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. Dude, let's hope he got method. Oh man, if he actually thought he was a God Butcher, that'd be so dope.
That would be awesome because him in The Prestige was amazing. Yeah, like just you want a good lesson in acting from someone who knows his craft. Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale. The Prestige, awesome movie. And if he does anything similar to that in Thor: Love and Thunder, I would be
Well,
Very
especially
happy.
with Taika Waititi directing this, like after Book of Boba Fett and fuck, I'm brain farting on the director of that.
Gilbert Godfrey.
No, it's
No?
he was a director in Mandalorian. RR. Richard something? I don't know.
Richard Ramirez? No. He
Could you IMDb that shit for me, please? The director of
I'm already
Book
on
of
it.
Boba
Yeah,
Fett.
I'm getting there.
Your old fingers are just too slow. I need Jamie from the Joe Rogan Experience.
He's got a job.
Richard Rodriguez.
Thank you. Yes, Richard Rodriguez.
I didn't even have to IMDb it.
You get directors like Richard Rodriguez, and God, that was so long to get to this point.
I don't even remember what the point was.
Thankfully, I do. But you get these directors like Richard Rodriguez and Taika Waititi and Jon Favreau, James Wan. They get these interesting viewpoints of these classic comic book styles, and they add a completely new, realistic, and classic flavor to it. That if you were a food connoisseur, you would fall in love with this restaurant. Maybe like the next movie, which is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, October 7th, 2022. So latter half of next year, we're going to get the next animated verse telling with Miles Morales. They're saying we're going to get all new Spider-Man involved. So maybe, I don't know, Spider-Sheep.
Robert Rodriguez is his name. I knew I was slightly off.
Robert
Rodriguez.
Yes, Robert Rodriguez. Damn. But into this Across the Spider-Verse, getting Spider-Gwen and Miles back together, telling that story. I would actually, I like this as a trilogy too. I'm really happy that they're going with this animated verse. The fucking visuals in this are just gorgeous. The first
it's gonna be awesome in 4K and then eventually 8K. I can't wait.
And then 364K. Oh yeah.
We'll be booting up into the Matrix after that.
We can only hope. What else we got towards the end of next year? Black Panther. Oh shit, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever, yep.
Now, what do you think about Chadwick Boseman's, I'll call it dying wish of them to recast Black Panther, because we're in that realm to where the end result could lead to a new Black Panther and an Illuminati.
So
The Illuminati.
two trains of thoughts. Is like no one can be and no one can replace
The human
No, but you can
T'Challa.
evolve it. And that's
right.
the
No one can
comic book way.
replace what Chadwick Boseman did for T'Challa.
We already
But
had
that
another
doesn't mean-
T'Challa with the Marvel Avengers game.
Right. So that doesn't mean which it was the same actor who did his same voice actor who did Kratos God of War.
Yes.
Christopher Judge. So, and he actually, Christopher Judge did a piece on not trying to emulate, but trying to put forth like his own unique style because he wanted
Yes.
to honor Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick is going on record that he, if he ever ended up not being able to do the role, he would always wanted it recasted. But
There's an importance to the character, though.
But he doesn't pay the bills.
the fandom,
There was
you're
that
fighting two
instant.
things. It's like,
It was the instant backlash of no.
yeah, but we've seen how well those instant backlashes happened, and then they'd be like, well, maybe we should reel it back. 'cause
And
we
I
need the
think
character.
that with his words, that fans will more or less realize that you can't just get rid of the Black Panther. Now, do you have Siri don the mantle, or somebody else pick it up, and then, hey, what's going on with the multiverse? What? Boom! Here's your new Black Panther, and everybody just knows it. It could be
Yeah,
that simple.
I think if you do a kind of swerve multiverse, like pull in and say, he looks different, and just go that route, and then
Because if they don't do T'Challa dies by like a Atlantean attack, I'd be surprised. Because they already alluded to it with the earthquakes, and Atlantis and Wakanda have had beef in the comics for a while.
What, Namor? Yeah.
So I see this as being a plot. It's been long rumored, and some of these long rumored stuff has had legs.
All I'm saying, if at the end of the day, in Feige we trust. So
yeah. It's true. What else we got for the rest of the year?
Moon Knight is to be determined. I'm excited for this.
There's
Oscar
rumors
Isaac
that
in
it's coming
June
out
was
in
awesome.
February, and we're gonna see Blade and a bunch of different characters in it. So
She-Hulk, Miss Marvel,
She-Hulk
Secret Invasion
is rumored to be linking to a World War Hulk movie, to where She-Hulk and Hulk are preventing the spread of like their gamma blood being weaponized, which I like that as a premise. I mean, if you have gamma blood, you should keep it to yourself. It's not like O negative. You can't give that shit to everybody.
Yeah, that just makes me remind me of that scene with Stan Lee and the 08 Hulk, where he drinks the contaminated drink and he's just that's just hilarious.
What else we got on there?
We got an I
Ms.
Am
Marvel.
Groot, animated.
That Ms. Marvel was pushed back.
Yes,
and
it was.
So I feel like if we're gonna see we'll probably see that like March, maybe like June, May, around that spring, summer beginning point. Ms. Marvel, obviously, I mean, it's an important series to come out because it's that Young Avengers, and Kamala Khan was very instrumental in that in the Marvel Avengers game and stuff like that. So that being said, she is being tied into the next Captain Marvel movie, along with Tatiana Paris.
I mean, I'm playing through Guardians of the Galaxy, and Connor's loving it, so I'm going to replay the Marvel Avengers game and go through the story for him as well when I can. But he's loving the stories that he sees on screen. So
I love the Captain America quote in the beginning of Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, that was a good quote, I will say.
It was really fucking great. I quoted it on Facebook a while ago, and I anytime I see that in my history, I will continue to share that, because there are those lines in comic books that I'm glad they transfer into other media, because lines like that will catch your ear, and you'll be like, "Damn, man, no, that's fucking good." Anything else left on the list? I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Secret Invasion.
Oh yeah,
next. And that's a TBD, to be determined. I mean, we know what happened with Spider-Man Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
With the end credit scene of that, with
and then No Way Home, where they're like, Nick Fury's been off world for years. What are you talking about?
And he's like, what?
Yeah.
So
they're
then the end credit scene of like
there.
End of WandaVision as well, and like at the end last episode. So the kind of tie-ins with those two movies and that, and then how that's going to play into Doctor Strange potentially. We don't know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff that we have looking forward to this year. So to where we got a lot last year, we're going to get even more this year, man. They're planning on really dousing us with a lot of content. And even when you look at Star Wars content, we have Mandalorian probably going to come out later this year. You have Ahsoka Tano. You got
two more Marvel properties that are going to be coming out at the end of this year, which is I Am Groot cartoon series and the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. With the original cast returning before the Guardians 3 movie.
That's nice. I mean, rounding out the year with that nice holiday special, and then we'll obviously be looking forward to Fantastic Four and like fucking the Mutants and a whole bunch of different shit going down the line that they're going to be releasing at the next D3 Summit. Or D23, I think it is.
Well, we go from E3 to something of an A+.
We do, with our ad segment, which is A+ Catering. my good friend, Ayla the Boy, and her business partner have a very delectable delicatessen company, which sponsors events and catering. And looking at some of their delicacies here, we have a lot of very delicious food. They are available for you. You just have to go over to facebook.com/APLUS Tri-State. And you can hire them for your event, man. They have a lot of really good food, very skilled and very delicious. I can attest to, especially the empanadas.
We're in conversations with them. We want to get them out and get them more visibility to everybody else. And we might have something special in the future.
Awesome. I can't wait for surprises.
That's lovely.
Just like this next story, which are the upcoming surprises that will be released in 2022. Of course, gaming-wise. Good, nice anticipation coming out for these this new stuff. Advance Wars, Reboot Camp. Okay, haven't heard of it, don't care of it. The Acronis.
Advance Wars was the tactical RTS on Game Boy Advance. It was kind of like Fire Emblem in that same vein.
Okay.
But now it's 1 and 2 with slightly updated graphics and for the Switch.
Okay.
If you played them, this game is also going with an online multiplayer as well. So, and a local co-op multiplayer.
The Anacris is the next one.
I haven't heard too much about this one, so.
No. Somebody running past some bodies, almost like a Portal 2 kind of gameplay style.
It's like
looks like multiplayer.
Judging by what the text says, it's like a Left 4 Dead like type of clone.
It looks like it. They got like some black symbiotes running around. You got a futuristic pistol and SMG.
So it's like a survival horror kind of thing.
Yeah. Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. So obviously they're gonna have an Avatar game. And it's going to be probably Unreal 5. It's going to look beautiful. People are going to fucking look at it and be like, why can't I live there? I need to go myself.
Scroll up to scroll down to Arc Raiders. That's looking phenomenal.
Not familiar with it.
I'm looking at it right now. It's Arc Raiders is free-to-play, third-person sci-fi shooter, which players fight to repel a mechanized alien invasion. It will release on PS5, PC Master Race, and Xbox platforms.
Ooh, that does actually look pretty beautiful with the light settings. And
I mean, it looks great. It'll probably look awesome on the.
You can look at these cinematic trailers as at least like my cutscenes will look this beautiful.
But even like you can tell which ones are cutscenes and which ones are actual gameplay.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like
I mean,
those ones with the running and shooting, that looks like he's actually doing that's gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, it does look beautiful. I mean, any of these futuristic games have the potential to hook you. Bayonetta 3 is another one. I haven't gotten hooked into the Bayonetta series. It was more like
that was I just lost the bus on that one. That was before me, so I just never had the desire to play it.
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. So it's like Jet Grind Radio. Except with tagging.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
What else we got?
The Callista Protocol. We saw a trailer for that in a previous podcast, which, that's
similar to Dead Space. That's what I would kind of put.
Yeah, going for that horror vibe. Oh my God. Choo Choo Charles. Survival. That's a survival horror
train game.
Named a survival. Hang on. Let's break this down. Survival. Rust. You know them. Horror. Dead Space, we mentioned it.
Rust was horrible.
Train game, train simulator. So you're mixing that up in a stew. That seems like a very interesting outcome.
So the description, it says, Choo Choo Charles looks like an unusual combination of Blair Witch, Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, wrapped in a Thomas the Tank Engine fueled nightmare. Okay.
So modders got crafty?
I'm intrigued. That's all I can say.
I'm intrigued about a lot of shit. Let's see what's next.
Cursed to Golf. It's essentially golf
So it's like
Dark
actually
Souls.
getting hooked into golf, to where
Golf
you're
and Dark
just
Souls.
cursed to constantly watch it and improve yourself in that sport and never give up, no matter how many knees or.
It's like Angry
Shit
Birds
your
with
place.
golf. That's what it is.
Yeah, Destiny 2: The Witch Queen comes out February, and
People are still playing that shit?
so after the debacle launch of Destiny 2, it got out of the Activision umbrella, which was beneficial because now Bungie is not part of Activision. So that was probably the best thing for it. And when that happened, a lot of retooling for Destiny 2 to bring it back to where it was brought it back up to prominence. And now, with the state that the game's back, the state that the game is in, it's in a better playability.
Hang on a second. Let me break this down. So you're telling me that Destiny 2 turned out exactly like Destiny 1, to the point to where long after people stopped caring about it, it got actually good.
Yeah, you'll be able to play it on Steam.
I'm just making sure I got that right. So,
What can I say except you're welcome?
So you're saying history repeated itself with Destiny?
Yes, it did repeat itself.
Okay.
Now that the
All
evil Activision overlord is not, overseeing Bungie.
Yeah, man, fair enough. What else we got?
Next game I am excited for, Dune Spice Wars. Now,
Yeah,
I played
RTS?
the Dune RTS games back in the day when they were on PC and Genesis, and they were phenomenal.
Okay.
And this is another RTS. This is the best way to do Dune, I will say. It's kind of
It
like a
makes
Command and
sense.
Conquer-esque. But
It seems like the
you've
right
got-
way to do a lot of properties is to do it as an RTS.
Well, anything
because
that
it's a
anything
broad
that has
stroke.
to deal with anything that has to deal with it's build your base. You have an economy system that's rare in resource. This is the best way to do it. RTS for Dune.
One game that really stands out to Big Brother and myself is Stronghold and Stronghold Crusaders. I have them on Steam.
That's also it's an amazing game.
Not enough wood, my lord.
Wood needed.
Stone needed.
I mean, I was always, the Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3 kind of person, and then StarCraft 1 and 2.
All that way.
More work.
Let me guess. Digging.
Like those little fucking, you little prick,
Yeah.
go get my fucking wood. I love that shit.
In the rear with the gear.
Like, those little comments, man, they made RTS is so much more enjoyable. Big Brother.
I like
Dying Light 2.
So I played the
oh my God.
I played the Warcraft 3 Reforged, and they still have if you click on the sheep multiple times, like endlessly, it will still explode. It's awesome.
That's a nice little addition. Dying Light 2. Stay human. They're really pushing this one, but it was also pushed back. I hope it's good because Dying Light was an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially with the parkour zombies, like that concept. I'm like, well, yeah.
I was skeptical, but it wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't, and
It's
it
really
was
good.
very entertaining. It had very good gameplay. I mean, shit, man, it had
It's got a
me
lot
hooked
of
in long.
replay value.
Yeah, that may even have to work its way into a Big Brother plays, man.
We'll see.
I'm hopeful. Unlike,
Your favorite is next. Golf.
You know what?
They're really pushing
I'm
the
going to
golf.
say this.
People like golf. I mean, I know you don't like it, so
yeah,
why
well,
would anyone
it's not my
dare
cup of
like
tea,
it,
but there you go. Says
So
masochism.
the EA Sports golf titles, especially the Tiger Woods during the 360 era.
You didn't say it
were-
right. You're supposed to say Taka Woods.
I'm not saying that. Shut up.
I was trying to get another audio drop. All right, as you were.
So the 2013 edition of Tiger Woods PGA Golf was probably the pinnacle of the EA Sports EA Sports golf games. And the reason why they did that is because they had the Masters which was the first time that the Masters was actually highlighted in a golf game. the fact that they're coming back after 7 years to redo, because they lost the license to 2K, and now after 2K had 3 years to put out a good product, which it's okay. I played it, but nothing. It's the EA golf games had that extra polish on it that made it worth paying for that. So I love the EA golf games online, because you can play multiplayer with 4 or 5 people, and you can play speed play and just go.
I'll tell you the best golf game ever right now, and it's Hot Shots Golf.
I didn't say it's the best golf game ever. It's the best real simulation golf game.
Best golf game ever, Hot Shots Golf on the PlayStation. That shit was amazing. Anything else left on this list noteworthy, I will say? Elden
Ring. This game will be released before the books are. So
everything's going to be released. Those books are never. Wind's a Winner is going to be left in the wind. What else?
He's never going to finish it.
Final Fantasy, Ever Crisis.
Final Fantasy, Ever Crisis.
Yeah. Forspoken. I don't really remember this one, but I think that was in.
Forspoken was that gorgeous game that we highlighted 2 podcasts ago.
That was a part of the PlayStation.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, event there. Tokyo
Boy.
Ghostwire Tokyo. That one I remember. I think it was like a couple of E3s ago. That fucking trailer, that looks so hyper realistic and so good. And
so is Christopher Judge going to say teenager?
Well, no, that was very Japan, to where they had like spirits or some shit walking around in an empty city, and you're like, all right, Japan, let's see what the radiation did this time. God of War Ragnarok. Everybody's excited for this fucking game. Gotham Knights. Very excited for that one as well, because it's an interesting premise of just even having the co-op on that, and a localized co-op, and being able to play with your friends, and somebody playing Barbara, someone playing Dick, someone playing Jason, and just being able to fucking romp around Gotham City, Arkham Knight style, and just fucking cruise around and have fun in that world. All the Batman games have been great from the Arkham series, and keeping that mold and evolving into the other players. When they added the different characters into the Arkham series, they had their own flair when you played them. Like when they added Robin, when they added that.
Still remember doing the, that little trick with any holiday. If you played Batman Arkham City and you go visit the Calendar Man, he says something unique.
Yeah. I mean, those games were always just like, fuck, man, we get this? Like, shit. Even like Arkham Origins, which was very poorly reviewed when it came out, was still good when you went back and played it. Like, oh, okay. Bane's the main villain.
In that era of standards, that was probably the weakest title of all 4 games, but it was still better than a lot of other games that came out.
Yeah, it was still solid, man. Gran Turismo 7, that is obviously every time you get into a new console generation, you're going to get into a new staple of this is where we're going.
You can spend all your time.
I just read a report that Gran Turismo 7 will have to be will require an internet connection to reduce the amount of people trying to cheat their replay times,
and a COVID test just because they want to be a dick. No, but the fucking license testing,
just a little prick,
was always the fucking worst part about that game. Like, oh, you want to drive this car?
Yeah, I know, because I'm still going through them on the PlayStation 4 version.
Oh, you want to drive this car? Can't do it without this license. You got to brake at this point. If you're a millisecond off, you're fucked. And you play that all day. And then maybe
of a millisecond.
By the end of the weekend, you might pass that test. Guess what, Junior? You got 37 more. Buck up, Bronco.
We got coming in 2022, Hogwarts Legacy. This is a Harry Potter open world adventure game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if this will have
I'm
that
surprised
much
that it
flags,
took so long to make. I mean, now
I think we're past that point. I mean, they're only doing it now because it's the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter's inception of the movie verse.
I mean, they should have did it a long time ago. So
they should have. Absolutely.
Make a
they
Harry
should.
Potter game, man. I'll put it on sale.
This
I might
game
buy
I'm
it.
waiting for, Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait.
You got me on that. I played a good bit of it. I didn't beat it, but I'm really excited.
It will be available for PS4 and 5.
I'm excited to see
Coming
where
this
they
year.
go with this one story-wise, because Aloy, almost like very progressive, in her line of thought, like, fuck, I'll use this technology, and everybody else just kind of shuns that shit. Like, get that shiny shit out of her fucking face. And now her having that evolved sense of what the technology can do and the greater threats, which are just, especially with the new graphical evolution this generation, they're going to look even more amazing than they did in the last console.
Connor will love this game. It's called Kirby and the Forgotten Land for the Nintendo Switch.
I mean, anything Kirby will sell.
It's a 3D Kirby game.
Oh, shit, I get to brush off my Switch. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Motherfucking right. I've been looking for an excuse.
I'm
to
almost
use
done
that.
with the first one. When it finally comes, when the second one comes out, I'll be done.
Dude, that first game was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm just playing it little by little.
It's really, really good. And Lord of the Rings, old man, I didn't know your game was coming out next year.
I was about to say the same thing, but I would leave that to you because you love, putting that little flair on it.
Yeah. But Marvel's Midnight Suns, that game coming out. I forget who's the studio on that.
Oh, you want to
Insomniac?
see that? It's this one right here, Connor. All right.
But
You
we have a
say not
new
much.
Marvel game. Oh no, that's the game coming out from the XCOM studios.
Yes.
So we'll have to see how that one, man. I can't wait for that one to fucking come out. That one might actually be really good. Metal Slug Tactics and Multiverses, and there's a whole bunch of shit coming out. Nightingale, which is another one of those PlayStation games. I'm fucking scroll past that. That's way too difficult to say.
Ollie World.
The Outlast Trails, Oxenfree 2, Lost Signal, One Punch Connor. And Pokemon Atreus. That's coming out next year.
Yes, that is coming out.
Redfall, Rune Factor 5.
Rune Factory, Seafood. Seafood looks amazing.
That does too. That is an interesting art style to it too. Slime Rancher 2, for those that really
Seafood looks like there was a cel-shaded karate game called Karateka that came out. It's a redo. Well, it's a remake. It was done during the PS3, Xbox 360 era. Highly recommend you play it. It's on PlayStation Now, so you can just stream it and play it.
Scrolling past some of this other stuff. Sonic Frontiers, the open world Sonic game. This one looks really great. I can't wait to get an open world Sonic game. I mean, that's what you imagined when you were playing the original Sonic, is being able to run on a wide open fucking
and that's
space.
what you wanted when you got the first 3D Sonic on the Dreamcast. That's what you wanted, but what you got was just more of the same, just in 3D, and it kind of messed with you.
Yeah, and then they stuck along with that same stylings for the other games that they did try to put
Right, and the technology, the idea, it was great. The technology just wasn't ready.
It wasn't. Splatoon 3, can't believe they're already up to 3 to that.
Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, that looks good.
Starfield, I can't wait.
Starfield, I'm
fucking pumped for it, especially because
I'm excited.
It's a new IP from Bethesda, so it's going to be glitchy. But the whole premise of doing like Fallout or Elder Scrolls in space and having a huge narrative like they do, they've been pumping their effort like they did, like we were just talking about with Skyrim. They've been pumping that effort into Starfield and making this new IP. So I got to imagine that obviously there's no may in it. There will be glitches. But
oh yeah, I'm not doubting that.
But looking at how intricate they do their games, it's going to have replayability. It's going to be their next launching point to where they're going to switch in between. We're going to do Fallout, do Elder Scrolls, and we're going to do Starfield, Then we're going to do Elder Scrolls. They're going to keep switching through this one. And I appreciate that. It's almost like, all right, if world's fucked, we got Apocalypse. Let's see. Fantasy. Yep, got that. Space. There we go. We're good. Done.
I think we finally checked them all off.
Yeah, that's it. World's done. We're good. I don't know. Make an accounting simulator for good.
We don't need it online. We don't need it online, and we don't need DRM.
Yeah. Stray, the cat game. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Yep.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Tina's
Something
Wonderland for the Borderlands. Total War. There's a lot of shit.
Triangle Strategy is the one Square Enix kind of like turn-based, kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics-esque.
Okay.
So that's like that.
Tunic. Fox that looks like Zelda. And that's how we round off the games coming out in 2022. We end off with the end segment, which I think is a nice, easy one to kind of really pick off of. What kind of timeless alien species would you rather be? Symbiote from the Marvel Universe, any of the symbiotes, or a Time Lord? Because with the Timeless Child, you can kind of X the Doctor out of there as to where if you're a Time Lord, you got a set amount of reincarnations, but overall, you can live for a long-ass time. Same thing with the symbiotes, to where a normal human lifespan doesn't mean shit to you, like the Asari. You know?
Yeah.
Would you want to be that symbiote to where you have to feed off of another person, and it could be alien or whatever? You can live by your, symbiote, you need somebody else, to where the Doctor, you have a limited run, but if you live out all your lives as a hermit, you could pretty much live out the entire universe. But the Doctor, you get a TARDIS. Well, if you could steal one.
So you mentioned symbiote, and I'm immediately, my mind just went right to that comic book arc where the death of Eddie Brock and how Venom symbiote was so torn up that, it was written that he shrieked so loud because he was so sad that the entire universe heard it. That's powerful.
Yeah. That's a powerful life, because especially when you look at the symbiotes and what they can do, like that's a powerful
he
existence.
Extended Eddie Brock's life across multiple human generations.
To where I guess this is more of a question of power versus technology, to where the Time Lords put that into intelligence and technology. The symbiotes are just like lashing out in anger and conquering and, and trying to kill and murder and death and destroy. So it's kind of that different kind of view of it, but you see Eddie Brock kind of have that happy friendship with his symbiote. I kind of see Big Brother like kind of really having a good relationship with his symbiote. Like, look, you can only eat 5 people today, but you got to be
here
sneaky.
are the 5 people that are really.
Here are the 5 people. Yeah, like not naming names, but these guys, you might be able to eat them. I mean, that is a tempting view of having a symbiote. Even able to, I mean, shit, the symbiote has healing properties because it wants you to be in your best view. So, shit, no more migraines, man, with the symbiote. But you do have regeneration
the symbiote would
with the
heal
Doctor.
him real quick.
But with the Doctor, you have regeneration. So you may be a black female tomorrow, but no migraines.
But is it? Here's the little asterisk on that. Do you get it at the moment? Do you get those powers at your current state? So if he inherits them now, he's always going to be in pain, but he can have regeneration and stuff like that.
Never mind. I'm good as me. I'm already in pain as it is.
I would imagine that it's just that symbiote, like you get that neutral state. You start off from 0.
Okay. He's got an absolute
to where that way
moment.
it's an equal level, because like, if you're an amputee and you're like, yeah, I'd love to be a Time Lord, killing myself at first moment, then I got all my legs. No, you can start off from a neutral state. This is my fantasy, goddammit.
I'm just checking.
I can construct this world.
The predator race. That would be interesting.
Mm.
Because I would love to see how they came to to have all that technology and stuff like that. So I'd love to see like them going up and where they came from. I mean, we know the aliens were created from Prometheus. Now that has been explored.
Yeah.
Man,
I would say the Asari.
yeah, the Asari.
They do live for 1,000 years.
That's pretty long, man. I think that's long enough. If you're looking at like alien lifespan style, like Time Lords, that depends, But
I mean,
that's like a Highlander. Like, yeah, well, this guy only lasted 2 years, then he got his head cut off. Like,
I mean,
but the Asari,
the Krogans,
Oh, yeah?
Genophage, post Genophage.
post Genophage, Vulcans.
Could be a lot of Krogan.
Vulcans live for fucking ever.
Yeah, we do.
And you don't have all those pesky emotions.
Mm-hmm. Desperately
I'm sorry, but I still say Big Brother, his spirit animal is a Vulcan.
A Vulcan that likes to sleep a lot.
God, I want to see that character.
It's going to be the most boring comic book ever because all he does is sleep.
Smartest Vulcan in the room. He wakes up to tell you what you did wrong and then goes back to bed.
And he only needs 2 minutes of screen time.
I love that. I fucking love that. We come around to it in the end. But I want to really hear what your choice of timeless alien species, which one would you rather be? My choice is obviously symbiote because, man, a Venom symbiote, if I could just sling around like Spider-Man.
Ooh, how about like one of those Reaper killers in the Mass Effect?
Yeah.
Because they were there for like ever. They've always existed.
Yeah, you'd have a great
There's
life.
a lot of them. You just got to live at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
On a majestic planet that's like half disrupted.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody has their problems.
Otherwise, people will find you and they'll annoy you.
Yeah, it's
I like them, actually.
it's some
They sound
things-
Mark Gervais is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a bit disturbing, but it's also telling. I'm sorry, Mark. See you, therapist. I love you, buddy.
Frank can just draw his own.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah, man. But I really want to see what the different kind of choices are.
Caribe, the Caribe the Hunted. He's got that character.
Yeah. Boom. Done. I mean, he hasn't determined, or at least told me, if they live a timeless kind of life expanse, like existence. Well, no, kind of the one did. Well, anyway, I'm not going to fucking. Anyway, I might know too much.
I mean, you said alien. I mean, you can just be, a Kryptonian.
Well, no, I mean,
Wrap it up.
his book is sci-fi, so anyway. I don't
Let's
wanna
not
say
ruin his sci-fi book. Could
Yeah.
we?
Yeah,
Could we give
anyway.
people a reason to buy it
Yeah.
instead of ruining it?
So check out Caribe the Hunted, I think is my point.
Coming soon.
But we end off this podcast with the
theater
thank
near you.
yous. I want to thank you, Chris Bucarell, Willie O'Connell, Finley Henderson, Julia Schroeder, and, of course, Mark Gervais for liking, commenting, and supporting the podcast in general. We love and appreciate you all.
The human, not the dog that was named after him.
Yes, yes. But, of course, this is always a long, drawn-out goodbye. I am your host, Matthew Bucarell, the Madman. In the Perjanger box, we see Christopher Bristow, the old man. We have one producer, Big Brother Stephen Bucarell, as well as our hero at time, mascot Link Diablo. And, of course, as always, we love you. We miss you. We want to see you next week. Until then, game on, Wallhangers! Bye-bye! That's more
we're
like
gonna
it.
end it.
Shutting it
oh
off.
gosh. Oh gosh. All right, bye.
Play on Perjangers. That was a good segue. Our Island Kelly.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's more like a goodbye. Jeez, man. We need more barks out of you, goddammit.
Ruff.
Yes,
Who let
Ruff.
the dogs out? Ruff. Ruff. Ruff.
Steve,
That's
soldier
right.
on there, sir.
his nice little comments at the end. We appreciate your opinion, Link. Yes, David Hasselhoff would make a good Ghost Rider. He's a big fan of Hoff, man. I might be imagining that.
I think you are imagining that.
You know what? It was cheeseburgers. He's a fan of cheeseburgers, not David Hasselhoff. It was the cheeseburger that I misconstrued.
But only if it's in
Cheeseburgers in paradise.
Paradise. It's been everything that I've been doing has not been working to get rid of it.
Well, I'm sure Big Brother can sympathize with that notion.
I've had a migraine since 1986.
Luckily, it's just a pressure migraine.
Because
I know
that's
it's
when I
because
hit
of
my head. It's not related to.
Yeah, well, yours is related because you're just fucked up. Mine is related because of the weather. I get those pressure.
That's a bitch, man. Like, I mean, Big Brother's is consistent.
They say that for
I would
some
rather have
people,
consistency
oxygen
than
helps.
irregularity. Like at least I
Oxygen.
like.
Yeah, if you breathe if you have like a migraine, you get like oxygen. You breathe oxygen, it helps because your brain's not getting enough oxygen. You're not like doing things
So
properly.
what about like breathing exercises? Would that help?
No, you
No.
need
Oh, and more
oxygen.
like actual hook up, open
As in
the
they
tank.
sell bottles of you like. Oh, I feel better.
I mean, shit, man. I think
That
somebody.
is for a very specific type of headache or
Wow.
migraine, not like head.
So you can't just like have oxygen.
You can't
in
do
the
anything for head
in the
trauma.
kitchen and just like I don't know. I think the oxygen helps. That's not going to help.
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, just to be sure, like if not, oxygen on sale, Amazon. Let me know. But no.
So it is supposed to help one type. I forget what type.
Okay.
Give it a try. I mean, it's Amazon. It's oxygen. Like,
It's your brain. It's a migraine.
give it a shot.
It hurts. You know, and apparently there's multiple types.
There's many. There's like 4 or 5 types of migraine.
So they just
Yeah, I get 2 different types.
they just
I get the pressure ones.
Batman generalization blanket that shit.
Yeah, I get the pressure ones that are caused by weather,
Mhm.
and then I get the ocular migraines that make me go blind for a short duration of time.
Might want to try oxygen for that one.
I get migraines when I hear too much stupid. Is that a thing?
No, well, yes, that is a thing, but that's like,
I'm being afflicted by that right now.
You know, to quote Snoop Dogg, TikTok.
media
You don't
files are
stop.
currently being synced to the cloud. Yeah, wait.
Whatever. It works. It'll work. It worked earlier. It'll work now.
Okay.
And I
Hold
had a
on.
viewer. He asked a question about lore. I'll do something with lore tomorrow.
And there's a lot of people that are tuning in on all the multiple facets. I was checking out the Twitch. There was like, 9 viewers on one of my Old Republic streams. That was one of the things. I was like, oh shit, I guess I have to do that. People will watch this before it expires on the Twitch and all that. So I'm continuing on Old Republic. Big Brother keeps poking me every Sunday, like, you should go live.
Yeah.
So
Get off your ass. People like it. And let's face it, I'm not going to play it.
I love that game.
I need the updated graphics. The thing about Skyrim is they've updated the graphics quite
They updated
a bit
Old Republic.
along the way, but
Old Republic has always been that cartoony game, and that's what I've really loved about it. They had their own art style with it, and I honestly really like the art style.
I wasn't
Especially-
impressed.
Old Republic reminds me of Clone Wars art style.
Yeah, that's what I really love about it, and I will continue. Like, I have not played all the characters. Like, I've slept on Old Republic. Like,
All
I
Republic
subscribed.
in 4K is amazing.
And like I said during my last live stream with Old Republic, I saw, I thought it was best to like, hey, what are some good tips for beginners? Because I've been playing this for a while, but I haven't explored all the facets. And one of the biggest things that they said was to subscribe for a month. If you're new to Old Republic, going in free to play, there's a lot of restrictions. So subscribe for a month, get your shit, and then you're on preferred status. That's where I'm at because I have subscribed at one point in the past. So that's really the biggest thing that I saw that you really need to focus on as Old Man gets in the mood. But I really enjoyed it. And someday, during a Sunday stream, Old Man will join me.
That's much better because there's less glare.
Yeah, that's good.
We don't
Yeah,
need
I'm
so
trying
much
to-
glare off the
Dome.
the white people parts.
The white people parts.
Whatever white people parts you'd like to show the world.
That.
We don't
Yeah.
need glare on the white people parts. Maybe a
Yeah.
button in the future. I need to organize my buttons.
We don't need glare on the white people parts. I'll do another take.
Do one
We
more.
don't need glare on the white people parts.
With each generation is a loss of IQ
It
or
is.
trial and error.
Oh, it is. And a lot of people stop beating their kids, too. That's the crazy part. No brain trauma to blame.
Why we
No,
have
I
less
tripped and hit a
CEOs.
wall.
Well, yeah, no, but that's, 80s.
Oddly enough, a foot to the left, I would have hit a steel beam and I probably would have died.
Multiverse.
Probably
But-
wouldn't be a very interesting story. That was it.
Speaking of switching stories,
Da-na-na.
the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Cut in here.
Yeah, thank
The
you.
Book of Boba Fett. Has anyone seen that?
Yeah, thank you for
I've seen
helping
it.
me. But yeah, no, man. Book of
I'm
Boba
helping
Fett.
me.
The fucking Sarlacc pit, man. The fucking
Yeah.
Sarlacc pit was my favorite part of that first fucking episode. I was like,
And what about that healing tube?
oh,
How about that? What's he
back to
doing with the
tank.
healing tube?
Yep.
back to tank. Oh my god, man, that episode. Fuck, if your nerd boner wasn't on full steam, I don't know what is wrong with
A
you.
lot
You
of people
not a Star Wars
are
fan.
not happy with the episode. They're saying that it's a
Why?
failure.
Why?
Ah, but it was a great start. You're building this like you had action. You
I
had
am
everything.
so
It's one
surprised.
episode. I don't know how they can come down on just that.
I
look,
did hear that.
I am so surprised that they all had a good enough Wi-Fi signal from their mom's basement. Like, oh my God, that's a miracle in and of itself. I
Hat,
thought,
curly hair, smiley face.
I really thought that
It's
was a
not-
very good fucking episode. Now, these are people who are probably very in deep to what they call now the Star Wars legacy, which is
What?
the old canon that they put in
Fuck that.
comics, which it's, oh God, man, it's not the fucking, well, I was going to say the Bible, but I mean, shit, anyway, it's not
Yeah, don't.
written in stone. I'll put it that way. It's not permanent. You can
Body of
change an
Christ.
idea.
Body of Christ. Body of Christ.
God, why is this cannibalistic culture keep popping up? But you can change an idea, see, and form it into something new and still enjoy it. And then if you like that
Imagine
original
that.
property, here's the revolutionary idea here. You can keep your opinion to yourself, or when you express it, not be a dick.
Or develop a proper segue to the new material.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is lazy writing that does happen too. But I thought overall,
No, I'm not doubting that.
well, I thought overall Book of Boba Fett, it did a decent enough example. Like, all right, he didn't use a flamethrower. Maybe he was out of gas. You know what I mean? Like, he still got out of there very well.
Really? That's their problem? He used a flamethrower? That's your issue. That
just
was
the one-
awesome.
That was just the one thing that I saw. Is that I think in the comic he got out of there with like a flamethrower or some shit, but he still fucking dug himself out of a Sarlacc
No, he
pit.
did. He used the flamethrower with the.
Oh, well, yeah. No, but here's the thing, though. The one thing I really loved about that episode is the one thing you pointed out, Big Brother, when we were watching it, like, oh, my God, look at how much they're highlighting of the Sand People's culture.
Yeah, they really went into Sand People. That's amazing. You're really flushing out the universe, adding a little
Like, you felt that,
chunk to it, little meat.
lost in translation moment
yeah.
between Boba Fett and the Sand People, because ultimately they were like, no, this guy can handle his own.
They have like they got the whole hierarchy system.
Yeah.
They got that little village.
And the
It's
little kid.
fantastic.
The little sand person, I'll call him, that he saved.
Sandling. It's a sandling.
Yeah, the Sandling. He fucking saved the Sandling, and then everybody else is like, all right,
he's all right.
he's not bad. And then
that
he got
monster
I just
tested.
did
was
that
awesome.
just to kind of dig one at Mark because he hates Adam Sandler.
The Sandling. That is perfect, though. I like that.
The Sandlers.
I like to call we'll call them
like Adam
Sandlings.
Sandler? Who doesn't like? He doesn't
Sandlings.
like Adam Sandler. Who doesn't like?
Some of his later movies are kind of trash, but
I haven't seen them.
Uncut Gems, I've heard nothing but good shit about. I still need to see that.
He hates Hubie Halloween. That's what he hates.
I liked his stand-up special. The last one was really good.
So
It was really good.
I really think that stand up. I think we're going to get a lot of really good stand up, especially out of 2020.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good content, and that's kind of like what we highlighted in this podcast because this is the end credits. Is the hope we have for 2022 content?
Yeah, I was really excited about all the stories.
Well, I mean, especially stuff we talked about with Marvel. Man, it was really good. It was really good. Another thing that's really good, them hitting that subscribe button right there, right above my head. Well, that is going to be the very best Perjangers and Wallhangers video for you. Right above Cardboard Kelly, blocking the dancing old man, is going to be every single Triforce podcast in the playlist. We want you to like, comment below. And, of course, while I move over to the right page and stall for time, as our main man Connor always says,
Bunch.
you're goddamn
One
right.
bunch.
Bunch.